Welcome everybody to today's webinar, Developing a Marketing Strategy for Reopening. My name is Heidi Shepard. I am the project director for the DC Women's Business Center. And I'm sure you're all aware that the DC Women's Business Center is part of a national network of over 100 centers around the United States that focus on helping to empower women to achieve small business success. We provide training, mentoring, one-on-one business counseling, and access to financing opportunities. Dina, can you move to the next slide? We are funded in part by the Small Business Administration and supported by the National Community Reinvestment Coalition, or NCRC. And we particularly focus on women who are economically or socially disadvantaged in the DC metro region, but not exclusively, of course. We were launched in 2010, and we are constantly growing and expanding in services and assistance and programs. So stay tuned for more webinars, trainings, partnerships, and counseling services as we grow and expand the Women's Business Center. And we're even in the process of updating our website, which will be much more user-friendly and better for all involved. So I just wanted to say welcome. A couple of housekeeping things. Please make sure that you keep your phones on mute unless you are ready to speak. And I will be monitoring the chat box. So if you do want to put anything in there, I will stay abreast of what's in there and answer any questions that you have as we go forward. So I do at this point want to introduce Dina Tobin. She's an experienced marketing specialist, trainer, and award-winning writer. Her consulting firm, Dina Tobin and Associates, provides proposal writing, creative content, and strategic communications. She is leaning to pivot, she's learning to pivot, during COVID-19. She promotes the voices of diverse actors and writers on her blog, Creatividad Plus. Interesting, I have to check that out. She also writes children's stories, haiku, and flash fiction. And you can connect with her via Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook email. So Dina, take it away. Thank you for being here and thank you for presenting.
Thank you so much, Heidi. I really appreciate it and appreciate this opportunity. And hopefully we can all help each other today. So just so you know, this webinar is being recorded and will be shared later on by the Women's Business Center. As Heidi said, I've been a marketing specialist for many years, working with a lot of U.S. government contractors and nonprofits to help them grow their businesses and win multi-million-dollar contracts. We do presentations, webinars, report writing, host of marketing tools. So today, I'm here to talk about how to develop a marketing strategy for your business reopening. And as Heidi said, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. So the main takeaways I hope you have from this webinar are a lean marketing strategy to really help you hone in on some simple steps you can take now to help you grow your business. And the second takeaway would be to refresh your marketing, taking a fresh look at it and take some actions that will really help promote your business and drive more customers to you. Before we get started, I thought we could just take a moment to relax. This has been a challenging time for all of us, the pandemic, the economy. I don't need to go into everything, but it's been a difficult year. So I just encourage you, we all take a breath together and a breath out. And just relax and push everything else to the side and let's just focus on you and your business. More people coming. So we have a poll to start us off with, what drives you in your business? Is it providing customers with a quality product or service, serving others, earning an income, or all of the above? If you could just take a moment to select which fits you. These are anonymous. So for the majority are all of the above. There's one person with earning an income, which is fine. We all need to pay our bills. And a few people just pick providing customers with quality product or service or serving others. Give you a few more seconds if anyone else wants to. Okay, so majority were yeah, you can see all of the above. So we're going to touch on all these points in today's session. Okay, sometimes screen doesn't want to cooperate. So just a quick refresher on what is marketing. Basically promoting a product or service to a client, anything from food from your restaurant, knitting supplies, experiences, home health care, doggy daycare, maybe you run a salon. So the choices are limitless. So today we're going to look at a lean marketing strategy for reopening your business. And this is based on 3 pillars: trust, your customers, and the product or service that you want to sell. You want to convey trust, understand who your customer is, and what unique product or service you are offering for those customers. Start with trust. You want to be a trusted source, especially in these times. You want to ensure that your customers trust you, trust your product and services. If you have a storefront, it's important that you're following the CDC and local guidelines for your jurisdiction in terms of reopening. And there'll be a flyer distributed afterwards with the links to all these organizations and guidelines. So you want to make sure you're doing this. And this is part of what you're going to put into your strategy, that you are following these guidelines. How else can you be a trusted source? Another way is to think about how you're helping your community. At this time, people are doing different things. Restaurants are providing meals for doctors and nurses in hospitals or first responders. Other people are helping with school supplies for children. I set up a page on my website with resources for freelancers and consultants, because I found that so many people I knew didn't know where to turn to find out about loans that were available or other resources. So I set up this page just as a resource for my community to help people. So think about what you're doing. And if you haven't done anything, it's not too late. You can come up with something that will help your community. And then this is also becomes part of your marketing strategy. Next, you want to know your customer. Who's buying your product or service? Why are they buying it? What's their demographic? Are they old, young, teenager, middle-aged? Do they have a family? Are they a couple? Are they single? How much disposable income do they have? If it's a company, you want to learn about what's your kind of persona, what's the ideal customer, so you can target your marketing towards them. And finally, what are you offering? What's the product or service that's bringing in customers? And what is the it factor? What's the it factor? The it factor is what makes it unique. It could be just a unique product that no one else is selling, or you're offering a better price, or maybe the quality is very high, or there's a unique story behind it. So what makes it special? Do we have any questions? Heidi?
No questions at this time in the chat box.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so the next part is to then design your marketing strategy. And you want to take your customers on a journey. You want to tell your story. How did you start your business? Why did you start your business? What were some of the challenges you faced? How did you overcome them? For example, I started my business a long time ago when my children were little, and I felt I couldn't advance in the career I was in because of what they used to call the glass ceiling, that it was very hard for women to advance. So went out on my own and started my own business. People are interested in the backstory. I have one client who's from Nigeria, and she was telling me her story about how she started a construction company, and she's been very successful at it. And she was like, but no one wants to hear that, and my story. And I said, what do you mean? Everyone wants to hear your story. It's unusual. You're successful. So think about how you got to where you are. What's your story? And you want to tell it in a way that's transparent and empathetic. In a simple way, beginning, middle, and end, like a story you would tell a child or a peer, that shows how you developed your business in a caring fashion. And this is all part of building a relationship with your customer of trust and empathy and being authentic.
Ina?
Yes?
I have a comment in the chat. The audio is not so great. So I'm wondering if you can maybe speak more clearly or more loudly, just to make sure people can hear you.
Sorry. Is that better? Is that louder?
Not really. Can we try another tactic?
That's the... I'll try and speak louder. Is that better?
That's better. That's much better. Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Loud in my ear. Okay. So the next step, sorry if you didn't hear everything, but basically telling your story in an empathetic way. And you want to take the opportunity that the pandemic, for all its sadness, gives us an opportunity to step back and look at our marketing. What do you have on your website, in your social media? Are you communicating with your clients as to what you've done, such as following guidelines, reaching out to your community, telling your story, how you're coping, how you've changed with this year of change? And of course, you want to use social media to connect with your customers where they are. And for those you may have clients that are not so tech savvy, you can use other media such as flyers, US mail, that this market would be able to access. But for those on social media, there's a real host of options you have. You can do podcasts, you can do short videos. People have very short attention spans, so your video only has to be 7 to 10 seconds. You can do, photographs, little posts, tweets. Instagram is very visual. So the internet is a very visual place. So you want to collect photographs and videos of what you're doing. There's also a lot of free sites where you can get copyright-free photos that could help you if you don't have any of your own, and start using these to connect with your customers. And then connect with your community. I'm sure most of you have connections with associations or groups in your community, maybe neighborhood, maybe by your business, accounting group of accountants. I belong to a lot of freelance associations. These are ways that you can work together. You may be able to find business through this groups, and you may be able to help one another in your marketing to do joint marketing projects around different themes. For example, if you have a storefront business in Mount Pleasant, you can get together with your neighboring businesses and do a campaign that our Mount Pleasant Street is open for business. Maybe have a special event that's, socially distanced and all that, but that will bring clients in either virtually or in person to your storefront. There's a lot of holidays coming up. You can have special holiday events, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, birthday parties, Veterans Day. So there's a lot of special events you can do to attract customers, and you can offer special rates or discounts or promotional items or services, this month only, the next 30 days, to bring in customers. And then there are lots of local resources, such as our wonderful host, the Washington, D.C. Women's Business Center, that provide you with mentors and training and other resources to help you grow your businesses. Again, we'll be sharing a flyer with these links to all these organizations. And I really encourage you to reach out to them. Most of their offerings are at no charge, or some charge a minimal amount for a webinar, but a lot of the services are just free. You can get a mentor, you can get several mentors to help you in different aspects of your work, and you get to meet other entrepreneurs. For example, I'm participating in the Greater Washington Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Business Boot Camp, and I'm learning a lot of different things from them, and also meeting other entrepreneurs who, all different areas. So take this time to really grow. And I know it can be overwhelming, the number of webinars, so try to focus in on, what you are really interested in this month. So just to recap, we talked about developing a lean marketing strategy using trust, knowing your customers, and knowing your product and service. And then designing your marketing strategy by taking your customers on a journey, telling your story, using empathy and transparency, taking this opportunity to refresh your marketing, and then build community connections virtually or physically in your community, and use local resources to gain more knowledge, gain information, data, mentors, everything that will help you really grow your business and be more resilient. So, do we have any questions?
The chat is open and available for questions. please feel free to put your question into the chat box and I'll convey it to Dina.
Do you have a question about how you might redo your marketing strategy or what steps you might take yourself? I'd be glad to talk to you about them.
Dina,
Yeah.
here's a question from Christy Renee or Renee, not sure exactly how to pronounce the last name. What are some creative, often underestimated places to find your customer?
Good question. Can I ask you, you can unmute yourself. Can I ask you what line of business you're in? Christy, did you want to unmute yourself?
Okay, I couldn't figure out how to unmute it. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. I'm in the wellness industry, but I also do transportation planning. So I'm getting creative in ways to reach out to just business owners and pitching like transportation options. Of course, we can reach out to like HR leaders, industry leaders, but like in the wellness industry, I'm thinking maybe I need to reach my audience. Maybe I need to reach out to different resource suppliers or I don't know, special events, a grocery store or something. I'm just trying to come up with other ideas of how to reach my customer wherever they are.
Okay, so you do wellness as well as transportation, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of wellness, you might want to look kind of one level up to associations or organizations because mental health is such a big focus nowadays. People are really having a hard time coping, and I see a lot of, do you do webinars or do you do any training?
I do like IGTV. I do like classes and events. So maybe just partnering with local business owners or you know, even bars. I know that sounds weird, but since people are struggling with mental health right now, I'm trying to figure out where are they hanging out to find relief and comfort. So maybe it is hanging out at the park or going to a bar or family time. It may just be wherever families hang out.
Right. So you might want to, you can reach out to individual, restaurants or bars that have reopened. You might reach out to like DC Park Service, if they're doing events or online, everyone's doing virtual events nowadays, or a restaurant association, DC Restaurant Association, Maryland Restaurant Association, and see if they would be interested in hosting your webinar for their members. And some of the, if you belong to any trade associations, that's something you can offer them as a service. They might be interested. In terms of transportation, you mean you provide, that's a big category, so I'm not, do you provide like local transportation or what do you?
I provide commute benefits packages for business owners. So pretty much helping their employees have transportation benefits to come to and from work. So I'm trying to understand how different ways that I could reach businesses in order to pitch, the packages.
Right. So I think maybe look where are these businesses going now to get this service, or just are they not finding it? I mean, you could do a survey. You could call up some businesses that bring in employees like nursing homes, and ask them, where is this is a service I provide. Would you be interested? You can do one-on-one marketing. Maybe any kind of business that brings in people to help hospitals, anything in the medical field, I would think now would be looking for transportation services. Some government offices, if you're registered, are you registered with SAM.gov?
No, I'm not, but I've done a lot of the things that you said, so I appreciate it. That was affirming, so thank you for that.
Okay, good luck. Thank you. Any other questions?
So there's a question or a comment actually from Dr. OEC Myrtle P. Alexander. Sorry, I'm just reading it. She asks, Renee, are you on LinkedIn? It's Christy, actually. If so, you may want to post a daily wellness quote to draw a following and further promote your business. Just a thought. If you email me, and she gives her email address, myrtle.alexander at iam-usa.com, we can speak further.
Very good. Yeah, so there are a lot of communities on LinkedIn as well that you can join up, different groups, and you can join those groups and post on there as well. Yeah, I'm just finding that the more you post, the more people see you. I mean, there are also paid posts if you have a marketing budget. You can go on Facebook, and there's a way to buy ads in Facebook that are very targeted to your particular audience. So some of it depends on your budget for what you want to spend on your marketing. Thank you, Dr. Alexander. Any other questions or comments?
So Dina, one of the first comments from Delia says she's a travel business based out of Brooklyn, New York. And I'm wondering what kind of advice you can give for somebody with a travel business, because travel is such a, it's just been devastated by the pandemic. Like, what do people in the travel industry do to reach new customers and continue to generate revenue? Do you have any suggestions for her?
Yeah, that's a good question. What I've seen some people do are virtual tours, where you can select where you want to go and watch a virtual tour. Again, if you can do presentations, there's a lot of people looking for creative content on the internet. There are a lot of older people looking for creative content. You could reach out to retirement homes and see if they'd be interested in you giving a talk. And that might be a way to generate some income. If you, it's a difficult area because things have just flattened out so much, but I think things will pick up if you maybe talk about planning. I read an article a while ago before the pandemic that the best part of a trip is planning the trip, because people get so much enjoyment about thinking about all the different options, where they're going to go, who they might meet, what foods they might taste. So maybe you could build on that planning, post-pandemic travel planning, that you can help people visualize their next trip, make it, a 3D, experience for them. Sort of have to think a little beyond what's normal. I hope that's helpful. Anything else?
Any other questions or comments for Dina? Please put them in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask her.
Hello, Heidi.
Hi.
It's Dr. Mantle. I just wanted to ask a quick question, not maybe intently for you, Dina, but also for Heidi, for the WBC on a whole, as to how does one obtain a listing of the nationwide associations, the WBC offices, and how would one potentially collaborate? If you join, I guess, the headquarters, does that give you access then to all of the WBCs across the country? That would be my question.
There is a site on the Small Business Administration website. They're the host of all the women's business centers across the country, and you can find all of them on that website. Yeah.
Thank you. So there's a directory, I presume.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Yep. Sure.
Just to follow up on that, because what I found is that it's a good way to reach a lot of people, a lot of other small business owners, is to go through these small business associations, Women's Business Center, and similar associations where they're looking for webinars, they're looking for ideas, and you can pitch to them a topic, or maybe several topics, and have them, or just start a discussion with them and see what they're interested in, and then pitch a few topics and put together a webinar. And that's a way to develop your own business. So a lot of it is pivoting. We've all had to pivot, and it's a good opportunity to take this time and kind of regroup and look at what all the options are out there. So, so what's your next step as we come towards the end of this webinar? I hope this has given you some food for thought about what you'd like to do next, and what step will you take in the next 10 days to update your marketing, and why did you take that step? And since we're kind of a small group, I was hoping that people would share with me what they think they'll like to do in the next 10 days. It sounds like, Dr. Alexander, you're going to reach out to some women's business centers. Is that in your plan?
I think, well, I'm going to actually assess what's going on in the country, I think, like most people, and then be able to move forward. And because we're education and looking at, once we're in post-COVID and looking at when we can actually get back to face-to-face, and even from a virtual perspective for rebuilding the economy, and looking at how we can transition primarily students from academia to the world of work via apprenticeship. So connecting that way and building our value through the partners and collaborations with other small businesses. And I think that's part of our marketing strategy. So your suggestion was actually quite good, to be able to, I've got a myriad of webinars, and so not necessarily for this audience, but from an academic perspective. And so it's just a matter of putting one together that would cater to small businesses and seeing how that could go, and to build the draw then, because when you have that network, it's, while we may be pitching our company, other companies may also have something that we could benefit from also. So thank you for that.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, so I've noticed, like, I went to DW for grad school, and I'm in their alumni association, and they're doing a lot more webinars, and that's on my list. Pitch to them. They're doing one on female entrepreneurship, I think next week. So there are a lot of universities. I don't know if you're at that university level, but that's another way. They have alumni who have small businesses, so that's another avenue to reach people.
You're absolutely right. And I'm actually an alumni president for two entities, both Washington, D.C. and Miami, for my Swiss university. And so I do have my alma mater, which is FIU. So I'm connected to a number of universities. And so that's a platform that one should explore. So absolutely,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah. So, and I think, I mean, it's important to remember also at this time that, you know, we're all in this together. We're all trying to help each other. And I think people are somewhat frazzled, but people want to help. People want to see, you know, in the US, you know, small businesses are the foundation, are the mainstay of the US economy. So we need to survive, we need to thrive, and we need to help each other and work together to achieve that. So, and I think another idea is to partner with complementary organizations that can add value to what you offer. So there's also the option of not just giving a webinar yourself, but giving it as a partner or a panel, discussing a problem or an issue. So there's a lot of different ways you can present information, not just, you know, one-on-one, but as part of a group. And that may bring in, you know, a bigger audience because each of those people brings in their own following. And there's still, I mean, there are conferences still going on virtually. If you can get on there, you know, be a speaker for one of their panel discussions, that's another opportunity for you to promote your business. So would anyone else like to, as I said, this is a no judgment zone, it's a safe zone. So any step you'd like to take or you think about taking, I don't know if I'll hold you to it, but it's always good if you say it out loud, it makes it more real. If you have a step you'd like to take in the next 10 days to update your marketing, you can unmute yourself or put yourself in the chat. If you're just starting a business, if you have some ideas about, I don't know, there may be some people who are just starting out. I know it can be kind of overwhelming, everything on your checklist, but pick a couple of things you're going to work on one at a time, and you can do it. It'll make a difference. Do you have anyone else question or comment? Heidi, any other questions or comments?
Nothing else in the chat. I would encourage folks to take advantage of Dina's wisdom and expertise and experience and ask her a question. And also, you know, Dina has her perspective, which is very, very seasoned, but there are other people on the line who may have some ideas for you as well. So please take advantage of the resources that you have here with all these different brains working. So please ask a question.
Yeah, we're here to help you. And, you know, if something wasn't clear or you want more information, I'd be glad to explain it. I know we might have covered a lot in half an hour. So I've been doing this for a long time, so it flows easier for me, but I know if you're new to it, it can be a bit overwhelming. So
my name is Elise, and I did have a question about one of the things that you said. You said the more that you post, the more that they see you. And I was kind of wondering about the balance in that, especially on, you know, social media platforms. Thinking maybe if you post too much, they become numb to some of your posts because it's something they see with so much frequency that it becomes dismissed. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's a lot of, what do you call it? There's, depending on which platform you use, like on LinkedIn, you pay to get your posts seen in the general population. but they can go directly to those people who are following you. So those people following you already have an interest in what you're doing. So, and you know, on any platform, Instagram, you have your followers, Pinterest. So I think if you keep it creative, I mean, you don't want to post the same thing over and over again, because obviously that, you know, people will be turned off, but change it up. You know, here's what's going on today. You know, you do like adventures, right, for companies and all.
Yes.
So if you have reviews from your customer, do you have like reviews from past customers? Like Joan W said, this was a life-changing experience for her. You know, something like that, you know, just a pull-out quote that you post with kind of a background photo of one of your adventure sites, zip lining or something. So, I mean, you want something that sparks people's interest and grabs their attention very quickly. And, you know, in just those 7 seconds, they're going to be looking at it. So people are scrolling, so you got bam. And I think, I don't know if people are going to get like tired of seeing you. I mean, if you're always doing something different, they're going to look forward to seeing, oh, what does she have today? Now, there's a woman I follow on Instagram who does vegan, and she does vegan recipes, and she takes like meat recipes and changes them into vegan, and she's very cheerful and colorful and positive. And so I'm always looking forward to, what is she doing today? You know, so that's what you want to be, something people are looking forward to seeing, something that's creative, that and convey some information, like, you know, join us on our next virtual experience, and or tell us where you want to go next. You know, you can do a poll, you can do a survey. There's a lot of things you can do to get your customers pulled into what you're doing. And like I said, tell your story, you know,
Right.
tell your story, how you started your business, some of your challenges, what you're doing. People like stories. So think of it as an opportunity. If they don't, and you can track, you know, how many people are viewing what you post, and see which are the more successful posts, and then repeat that type of post. You know, let that be a guide for you.
Thank you.
Sure.
We do have another question from Helen. Helen says, I ran a couple of Facebook ads with no results. I'm a CPA IRS tax resolution expert. What suggestions do you have for me?
Okay, thank you for the question, Helen. Well, I don't know how you ran the ads. There's a whole strategy in targeting Facebook ads where you can be very specific about targeting the audience you want. So you would have to know, like, who's the audience that buys your service? Are they businesses? Are they entrepreneur, you know, small, like sole proprietorships? Are they individual families? What's their income level? You know, where do they live? So you can choose your demographic in Facebook with before you run the ad as part of in your account. You narrow down that demographic, that group of people, you know, even the income level, and then target your ad to them. So and then you want to have an ad that catches their attention, you know, also. And, you know, click on this and you get to my site. A lot of times you want to start with something, you're not selling something initially, you're giving something away. So my top 3 tips for saving money, saving tax, you know, paying less taxes. That everyone's interested in paying less taxes. So something like that, where you're offering a tip in your ad, and they have to click on it to get to your landing page. And on their landing page, they have to enter their email to get your tip. Then the whole process. Then you collect emails, and then you have a targeted email list. And then you can use that email list to send targeted emails about the services and products you're offering. So you want to give something away and then collect emails and then target, sell your, not hard sell, but soft sell your services. Are you having this problem? I can help you with it. Is that helpful? I've been taking a whole nother webinar on Facebook ads, so it's a whole process to it. It's not just running an ad. So you want to use your money wisely. You can set a budget, per month, and you want to figure out what it costs per customer to get someone per email. So there's like a science to it. There's a lot of YouTube videos you can look up on how to run Facebook ads that will help you. Or you can contact me. My firm provides a lot of these marketing services, so we can help you if you have further questions. Anything else, Heidi?
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
This is Tracy Ann.
Hi,
Just
Tracy.
listening because my business is a little bit different. I've just started a I'm in the process of starting a financial business to which I will be lending funds to small businesses as well as insurance. But as I listen on, one of the things that I've done in the past, and I'm putting myself together to do that also, is self-promotion. And when I say self-promotions, I'm looking at branding myself, getting t-shirts with the company that you have, and you wear those t-shirts, or your family member could wear those t-shirts. Because people do look at something simple as a t-shirt. Not only that, but you find also the advertisement on the cars. You have a lot of cars that are parked in various areas that it could be in person's driveway, a person's home, but it's in an area that is very prominent. At times, this could be someone that you know very, very well. You could speak to the person. I have this car sign that you can take off and on, because there are some signs that you can put on your vehicle and you can take it off. Is it possible I could place it there, for free, or I can give you something so people can pass and see that sign itself? So that's another inexpensive way. Another inexpensive way that I found out also was yard signs, to which they're pretty cheap online. I purchased a few yard signs. I spoke to the signing board, and they told me that if I place my signs between Friday to early Monday morning, there will be no fines. So therefore, on Friday evenings or Saturday mornings, I place my yard signs in designated area around the area to which I live. And then Sunday evening, I'll take them back out. Because that's a way of, there's no charge for that, because the state tells us, I just mentioned that you can do that, but you need to take it off early in the morning before business hours. So I've been utilizing that. So some are just some of the few ideas, that can be utilized, if there's not much of a budget, or something that, we could use to start off. And it has been doing so far so good for me.
Good. That's great. Yeah, no, those are all great ideas. Thank you for sharing. And I was watching a webinar by an author, and he was wearing a T-shirt with an image from the book. And I asked him in the chat, is that T-shirt available? Because I would buy it, just like you said. So he said, oh, well, not yet, but it's going to be. So that's not only you could use it for promotion, you could sell them, and then you have free marketing. Whoever's wearing your T-shirt is promoting your business, right? So or you could give away. That's another, like a giveaway. You could give away a T-shirt. First 10 customers this month get a free T-shirt.
Absolutely.
So yeah, those are all great ideas. And the decals on cars, and you know, if you can get them on someone who's like on Uber or Lyft, who drives around all the time, you know, if you pay them $50 a day or whatever to, can you put this on your car for me while you drive around the city? I mean, that's fairly inexpensive marketing as well, and people will see you. So thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Heidi?
Yes,
I
I
just
have a question.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
How do you build a marketing strategy for a online curated boutique?
Online curated boutique. Okay, so you want to know who are you targeting? Who's your target customer? And where are they going? You know, are they on Instagram? Are they on Pinterest? Are there, you know, so what social media can you use? And look at similar sites. I mean, learn from your competition. That's a very simple way to learn. Doesn't cost you anything. Look at your competition. What are they doing? Where are they? You may not see, I don't know if you can find out through Google Ads, like how much they're getting through each of their ads, but you can see where they're most visible. And, you know, take your lead from there and use, you know, trending hashtags on your posts, join groups that where your demographic is already. If you're, if you can get someone important to wear some of your clothes or someone who's bought your clothes, you know, they always have, you know, post a picture of yourself with this outfit or this whatever you're selling. I don't know what you're selling, but you know, this handbag, and hashtag your name on Twitter, you know, so you include like a QR code to make it easy for them to tag you in posts. So it's not just you posting, but all your customers are posting when they bought something. Or, you know, like this post, you know, you can, our most popular post this week is, here it is. So I think, I mean, there's, and you definitely will have a lot of photographs and video. There's a lot you can do on social media to draw people to you. And I would also go to like, if you have alumni organizations, people often like to buy from someone who went to the same school. You know, there's a connection there. So tell your story in your alumni group, you know, get an article, write an article or have an article written about you for your alumni magazine. So, and network, tell all your friends, your family, your hairdresser, your dentist, your doctor, your everyone, what you're doing, and share. So that's my 2 cents. Is that helpful?
Thank you.
Sure. What's the name of your business?
High Voltage Bazaar.
Say it, I couldn't hear the beginning of it.
High, HIGH,
Hi.
Voltage.
High Voltage Bazaar.
Yes, Bazaar. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I like the name.
Thank you.
So you can put a lot of high voltage signs, electricity around your, I don't know what your ad campaign looks like, but it's a cool name. And one thing people do often is in the webinar, especially training ones, they will share, I don't know if Heidi is something we want to do here, but share your links, your website on in the chat if you want to.
Absolutely. If whoever wants to share that, feel free to put it in the chat. I would also encourage folks, if you haven't been following the different comments and feedback that's been going on in the chat, I would encourage you to take a look at that. These are not necessarily questions for you, Dina, but just comments that people are sharing with each other.
Yeah, so you use every opportunity to promote your business. Every webinar I go to, I put my name and my website in the chat room. And I do it periodically because if people join the chat later, they don't see what's above. So, you know, beginning, middle, and end of the webinar, put your it's free advertising. Put your name and your website or Twitter account or something so people can reach you, what you do. Say a sentence about what you do. So just use every opportunity to promote yourself. So I think we're going to move to get this to work. We have one final poll. And oh, that's not the one I want to do. Sorry. At this time, do you feel like you're ready to take a marketing action or you're unsure about what marketing action you want to take? So if you could just answer. Where you feel you are today.
I'm unsure what to take.
What to take?
Yeah.
Well, are you already launched? Have you already started your business?
No, so I just initially have what I shared with you, my business name. I paid for my business license and things of that nature. So I have all of the proper documentation as far as moving forward with finding vendors to purchase either wholesale or manufactured products from or apparel from. But I haven't obtained a website. Obtaining a graphic designer to build the website if I choose to utilize that particular platform, designing the logo, marketing strategy, how to go about, finding my initial target market, and things of that nature. So I'm still initially in the very beginning stages.
Right. So you have a lot of choices to make. There is marketing you could do even without a website. I mean, you can. Are you on Instagram or Pinterest or Twitter?
No, not as of yet.
Okay, so I would suggest you do some research. Look at those sites. Look for similar vendors, people that are curating. Are you doing like vintage clothing or just clothing from any era or modern clothing?
It would be modern, but it would be more of a couture avant-garde look, but it would be under a ready-to-wear. So if you wanted to go to an event, you wanted to go to a birthday party, but you wanted initially to be in a position to stand out. So I just wouldn't initially be selling like basic cocktail dresses. So my apparel would be more of my brand is pretty much for those individuals who look at clothing as being more of art than just textile.
Sure. Okay. So I would say do a little research and try and find groups or like Pinterest pages that have people on them who are interested in that. I mean, they may not be selling it. They may be buying them. They may just collecting them. They may just like them. There are lots of reasons people create Pinterest pages. but it will give you an idea of that market. And
Now, I
you
do
know,
have a Pinterest page. I'm sorry, I do have a Pinterest. I do have a personal Pinterest page, not a business one, but I do have Pinterest. But I don't have Facebook. I just wanted to clarify. I don't have Facebook and I don't have Instagram, but I do have a Pinterest page, but it's a personal.
okay, I would set a separate one up just for your business in Pinterest, and just, you know, look what's out there. Start posting some things, just like tell your story, what you're doing, why are you doing this, you know. So this is a great opportunity because you're right at the beginning, so you can like storyboard out what you want your story to be on Pinterest or on Instagram. I mean, it's very easy to create an account on any of these sites, and you can literally, storyboarding is just a way to visually draw out, like, even if you're not an artist, or, you know, this is the sequence I want to do. It's what they do in movies, like what each scene is. So opening scene, I'm going to launch my business. So maybe it's you going, you know, I'm going to launch my business. Oh my God. Am I crazy or what? And then the next one is, no, I'm going to think about it. You know, I'm doing research. So, you know, take people on that journey, and you'll start, you know, follow me, hashtag whatever your, you know, your Pinterest or your Instagram, put those on your post, and start, you know, send it to all, you know, friend all your friends, try and friend all the people that are on those other Pinterest pages that are similar, and follow them. So a lot, you know, they'll follow you back a lot of times. So that's how you build up your following, by following other people and putting up interesting content. So, you know, but this is the hard part, is planning it out and following your plan. And so, yeah, having a calendar that, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or however often you can do it, I'm going to post. I think you can set it up so it's automatic at a certain time. And then, you know, this is storyline for week 1, storyline for week 2. And so people could follow you and see on your page how your business is developing. And, you know, and then you can have like, you're getting ready to launch, you know, or have our first products, or testing out, you know, who's interested in this, you know, what do you think, you know, do like I said, a survey. So you want to engage the audience, you want to build it, engage it, have people come back. So it's a process. It's not going to be like overnight, I got 1 million customers. Yeah, not really going to happen. But you can build it. You can jump to different levels, using different techniques. So there's a process to it, and kudos to you for starting, because it's tough, but it is tough. It is, you have to really have a passion for what you're doing, and you really enjoy it, and you really want to, you know, you see the future. This is what I want to do. I've always dreamt about this. I love clothing. I love it. You know, why are you doing it? Tell that story. So that's how you engage people. So you can still do, you know, start your marketing. I don't think it's ever too soon, but of course, do your research, and then use that research to inform your marketing. So hope that was helpful.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. And contact me if you want more information.
Most definitely. Thank you.
So we got about, I think I can share this right. Most people said they're ready to take an action. We have one person I think we just heard from who said she's not sure what to take. For those who are ready to take an action, would you be willing to share what action you're going to take? Just unmute yourself. Everyone's shy. I'm here to help you. I usually charge people a lot of money for this. You're getting it for free. Come on, ask me questions.
I can share, I guess, with my marketing
right.
strategy. My name is Sasheen Scott, and I've also have like a e-commerce business. So it's like in the foundation stage of like all the documentation is there. I'm working to get the wholesale clothing. So it's actually workwear. And one of the things I know for me, especially based off of this webinar, that just reaffirmed what I want to do with my business is just producing consistent, helpful content so that it drives the traffic to my website once the clothing is available. So I know right now what I've been doing, especially with this pandemic, obviously, you know, workwear isn't necessarily on the forefront of people's minds. So I've been introducing leisure wear because we're working from home, and helpful tips about what you could wear for your Zoom calls or what you would want to see, you know, what things to expect, like once, you know, we're kind of out of this pandemic situation. But I think of your webinar today, I want to continue to kind of do stuff along those lines, but I think I would like to ramp up more of the helpful advice, because I think to your point that if you're kind of mixing it up and providing really good, helpful information, then people will continue to be intrigued. And I think before I kind of felt like, okay, well, I have this formula of I'll post this picture or I'll post this, you know, workwear look, and then, you know, people will be interested, which is true. But I find that when I'm mixing it up and I'm incorporating, you know, things that are kind of going on today or some inspirational posts, it has helped with my engagement. And I'm speaking specifically with Instagram because I find that it's more of a visual platform and it has people's interest more so than any other platform that I've been on. So I think your webinar is really helpful in just solidifying, I guess, some of the necessary steps that I've been taking before, but just making sure, you know, that I keep it interesting, keep it engaging.
Yes, exactly. You are spot on. Yes. And you know, those are all great ideas. And I applaud you for pivoting because it is difficult to pivot. I mean, you knock up against the wall, nothing's happening, and you have to turn and go in the other direction. So good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
And yeah, I mean, these are all difficult steps. It's not easy running a small business. And that I think it's great you're doing leisure wear and that, yeah, you have information. I mean, yes, terrific Zoom call. Like we have to look good from, you know, the waist up in our Zoom calls. We've probably all seen those cartoons of the guy in his, you know, boxers with a suit and tie on and a, you know, jacket, no pants. Or the guy who got caught, you know, walking away with
yeah, I have seen that.
So you want to, as a warning, people that we sell two pieces, so you'll never be caught with your pants down at a Zoom call, something like that. So I mean, you could inject. I mean, humor is a great way to sell things. You know, put some of that funny stuff up there. You know, people love that, sharing that stuff, and then have your customers take pictures of themselves. Here I am on a Zoom call wearing your outfit. You know, that's a great promotional item, and you know, have them hashtag you and share it on Instagram or where you are. So, and yeah, I've read that like a lot of clothing stores are pivoting to do sweatpants and sweatshirts because no one's gotten out of pajamas in 7 months. So, but I mean, to kind of marry that with what the woman mentioned earlier about branding yourself, maybe sell to a company. You know, we can sell leisure wear, so everyone's wearing the company logo on the next Zoom call. Isn't that cool? I don't know if it is, but you could promote it like that. Like, let's all wear, you know, Jill's Wash and Wear, whatever it is, the company brand on your clothing, you know, Is that something you could do? That might be
That's a good
another
idea that I haven't
another
thought of.
another income stream is to
Leisure wear,
promote it.
but I
Leisure
didn't
wear,
put my
leisure
logo.
wear.
Well, I
Well,
didn't
you
think, to your point, I didn't think of, I have looks for leisure wear, but for some reason I didn't. And I'm thinking about selling masks as well, but I didn't think about putting my logo on the leisure wear because that's also another good branding point. Not a lot of the clothing, but maybe a few items. So
yeah.
helpful. I didn't think about that before. And I can also use that as a marketing strategy for like, you know, show us your looks or you show us your
Show
work
us,
outfit.
yeah, show us your work attire today, and coordinate it with a mask with the company logo on it or sports team logo. I mean, there's so many. Everyone's doing branding. You know, the masks. With my high school alumni, my high school got the logo and put it on the mask, and he's selling it to other alumni. So clothing is like a blank palette, you know, for a message. So you could even partner with another company that wants to put their message out there on your clothing. So those are some free marketing tips for you today. Anyone else? Thank you for sharing. That was exciting. I'm glad it's going well. Anyone else like to share what they're going to be doing in the next week or so? Heidi, do we have anyone else?
Nobody has mentioned anything in the chat. So no other comments at this time.
Okay, so I think we're going to wrap it up and say thank you. So I hope you're left with some tips on how to focus in on your marketing strategy, how to refresh your marketing, where you can go for additional resources. And these are some ways you can contact me. On Twitter, DinaTobinConsulting@gmail.com, and my website, DinaTobinConsulting.com. And stay
I'm
safe
sorry,
out
can
there.
you repeat that? Can you repeat that? I'm attending
on the
by
phone.
phone. Yeah.
Oh, sure. So my Twitter is just my initial D like David, Tobin, TOWBIN. And my my email account is my name, DINAT like Tom, OWB like boy, IN, consulting@gmail.com. And my website is DinaTobinConsulting.com. If you type in Dina Tobin in Google,
It's going to come up.
I'm going to be pretty close to top.
Okay.
Lucky
you can tell
my-
people to Google you. Just Google me.
Google me. I think it's all good. I've done a lot of publications, so there's a lot of information up there. So, and be safe. We want to take care of one another at this time and take care of yourself. It can be overwhelming, so just, take a deep breath every once in a while. And I wanted to thank the Washington, D.C. Women's Business Center and Heidi and Said on helping me to put this on. Thank you so much. And please check them out at dcwbc.org and on Twitter at the DCWBC. They have lots of resources. It's all free. It's for you. Take advantage of it. And I think you'll really benefit you and your business. And there'll be, Heidi, I think, are you planning upcoming webinars? Is there anything you want to promote?
Yes, I just wanted to say first, thank you, Dina, so much. And I think you had some really, really great suggestions for folks. I'm very engaging presentation as well. And I just wanted to make folks aware that we do have some upcoming webinars. I'm not going to pepper you with all the information right now because you won't remember it, but we will be sending, now that you've signed up for this webinar, you're on our email list and you'll be receiving updates on the various webinars that are coming down the pike. So stay tuned for those, and please reach out to us for one-on-one counseling sessions, and we can delve deeper into your business and help you more directly with one-on-one counseling sessions. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for participating, and especially thank you to Dina